Hi, interns. It's Paula Carr. Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday. We are going to be talking about hygiene today. And though, we're all staying in our houses, how important it is to still take care of our bodies and maintain a daily hygiene checklist. As you can see, I have a checklist I already wrote up in the back that I'll go over in today's lesson. But today we are going to use our Introduction to Good Hygiene discussion guide. We're going to read this, maybe underline some important information we need to know, because afterwards we are going to then complete the Introduction to Good Hygiene questions and answer some questions here. So I'm not going to write them down for you, but I'm definitely going to help you out with where to find that information today. And then at the end of our lesson, I wrote down my own personal daily hygiene checklist, and maybe you'd like to do the same, either on a piece of paper, maybe you have a whiteboard, but just to make sure that even though we're not going out of our houses a lot these days, that we still need to, make sure we're doing these things in the morning and regularly in the evening as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead. Today, all you need is just a pen to write with, and then your Introduction to Good Hygiene packet. That's a 2-page packet with the discussion and then the questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this and I'm going to read it for you, and then I'm going to underline important information to give you a little bit of hint there when you're answering those questions. So here we go. What does good hygiene mean? I'm going to start right here at the top. So what does it mean to have good hygiene when people say this, to take care of yourself, when people say these things? What does that mean? Well, it means keeping yourself, your body, looking neat and also clean. And that's very important, especially if, some of us are looking, to become more independent. That's something you're going to need to regulate yourself and to remind yourself to do. So it's just the more independent you want to be, this is keeping up with your own daily hygiene is a really important piece of that. So I'm going to underline this. I suggest you do as well. What does keeping good hygiene mean? Keeping yourself looking neat and clean. And neat means, we're dressed in clothes that, aren't stinky, they're clean, and we've cleaned our bodies in a lot of different ways. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more with some specific examples. But when someone says taking care of yourself for good hygiene, that's typically what they're talking about there. Our next one, how do good hygiene habits impact the thoughts and feelings of other people? So a big part of having good hygiene is not only for your own health, but it's also to help you come off to other people and in a positive way. So there's different things when think about if you've ever seen anybody and they came in, they kind of had a smell to them, or maybe they were wearing dirty clothes. What kind of thoughts did you have? Some people can't help it with, money. Sometimes we don't have access to these items to take good care of ourselves. But still, those of us who do have access to these items and can, keep up that good hygiene, when you come in to work or school and you're not wearing clean clothes and, your face might be dirty or your teeth, might have stuff in it. I don't know. Your hair might be a little messy, which I know now everyone's hair is a little bit more messy now that we can't go to barbershops and salons. But what thoughts do you have about that person? And then also think about what thoughts do you have about somebody who, is always dressed very well, always smells good, always has, a clean face. So think about the different thoughts you have, because those are thoughts that people have about you in the way that you present yourself as well. So how it impacts other people's thoughts about us. It helps you make a good impression, and that's so very important, especially as you guys are in that stage of entering a career and finding a job. So we all want to make those good first impressions. So it affects that. Having good hygiene will give people good thoughts. We talk about different large thoughts and small thoughts, and this hygiene gives people good thoughts about you. Poor hygiene, so if we're not taking care of our bodies and ourselves, people tend to have other ideas about us. I know this isn't very kind, but people do judge us on our appearances and on our hygiene in some ways. So we need to be aware of that. They might have feelings of, oh, that's kind of gross. Oh, I wonder what's wrong. And again, those when we don't take care of ourselves and our bodies, those larger thoughts come into play with other people. And again, we want to have those small good thoughts where people are like, oh, like very nice today. And those are the impressions that we do want to make. So we are also going to, I'm going to underline, it helps you make a good impression on others. So that's just very important to know, just overall. You don't have to write this whole thing. Some of these terms are kind of a little harsh, of weird and gross, but just overall, the main idea there is keeping good hygiene. It helps you make a good impression, and that's what we want to do. So what are some things to do that? What are some things so you can make a good impression on future employers, friends, family? What are some things that we can do to keep that good hygiene? So it's important to follow a hygiene routine every day that helps you stay neat and clean. So this is an everyday thing. This is not just a once every 3 days thing. This is a routine. These are habits that you're making here. Everyone's hygiene routine is different, and we'll talk about that. But here are a few important things to think about. So the way that you get ready in the morning and things that you do with your body in the morning are different than the things that I might do or another person might do. So we'll talk about that. But this list here really gives us a good list of things that most of us should be doing every day. So number one, we have shower every day. Now, I know some of our homes, we don't have showers. I've lived in a place where all there was a bathtub. I didn't have a shower. So obviously, I took a bath. Also, washing your face is something that's important to do if you're not bathing or showering in the morning. That's important, and we'll talk about that. But when you do shower or when you do bathe, what's important is, and I'm reading the bullets under here, number 1, is that you wash your entire body with soap. So just making sure, this is going to be a little silly, you're going to think I'm getting a little quarantine crazy here, but just when you're bathing yourself, you got to make sure you're getting everywhere, all over your body. We're not just like slathering the face and, the chest here and that's it, right? We got to make sure we get our legs, our feet, and just all of our body, our total body, with soap and water. Then also it's important to wash specific areas. So we sweat a lot under our arms. So it's really important just to make sure that you're getting those areas there that have a lot of sweat. Feet, face, and genitalia area. So, between your legs, just making sure you're getting all over your body. And then wash your hair with shampoo. That's important too, to keep your hair clean. Now, I'm not a big fan of washing my hair every day. I have very fine hair, so it can washing it every day is really not healthy for my hair. So I wash my hair every 2 days, and that way, I can go in, I can take a shower, I can wash my face and wash my body, but then the next time I go in, and then that's when I wash my hair too. So, we're saying, when you do wash your hair, just make sure you use shampoo, which is not just water. You want to get that cleansing. It's kind of like soap for your hair that cleans your hair out and your scalp and any buildup that you might have there. So we're going to underline number 1, shower every day. And again, when I say shower, it could be a bath or it could be washing your face, just somehow washing that skin to keep it clean. Number 2, we're going to talk about now, which is comb your hair every morning. Now, of course, this differs with everybody. My husband is, if you've ever seen him, he is bald. He doesn't have any hair. So would he need to brush his hair every day? Probably not. But if you have long hair, if you have hair, you'll want to make sure that you're brushing it every day. So, getting those tangles out, is very important. 2, to look neat. So make sure that your hair's not sticking up is what it says. So, your hair might not stick up, but if you notice that you're not brushing your hair every day, it might start getting, really either bushy or just kind of strings hanging in different places. And that's where you're not looking neat. So just brushing that hair every day is also something you'll want to do. So we're going to underline number 2 as well. Comb your hair every morning. I actually comb my hair at night too. Another thing I like to do is I like to comb my hair right before I wash it, because that helps you get all those tangles out and helps that shampoo get in a bit easier there. So I always brush my hair right before I wash it too. So brush your hair frequently. Number 3, clean your fingernails. Now, this is not going to be a daily routine, but it is something that we're going to talk about on our daily hygiene chart over here, because nails are very important. People don't only look at your face, they're looking at your hands. And, when we have really dirty hands or dirt under our fingernails and things like that, that's really not good. Especially for those of you who are interested in being in food and beverage industry. If you're serving food, would you want someone to give you a plate of food and their hands, were dirty? So we really need to think about that when we're in the workplace. You really need to be clean. Especially right now, we have a virus going around, our communities, and we need to make sure that we're washing our hands, and that'll help keep your nails clean a lot and your hands clean. But there are some times where we also need to trim them using nail clippers. We also need to clean under our nails as well. So keep your nails short by cutting them with daily clippers every 2 weeks. And so this is going to depend how quickly your nails grow. My nails, I take biotin as a vitamin, so that makes my nail growth very strong. So my nails grow very quickly. So I actually need to cut my nails once a week. So think about that. Know your own body. Do your nails grow quickly? Do they not? How often do you need to cut them? And then remove dirt from under your nails with a nail brush. So we're going to underline, clean your fingernails. Very important. And while we're on it, it's important to clean your toes too and your toenails. So think about that. You need to trim those. I think we're talking about fingernails because, again, that's more seen by other people, especially in the workplace. People see your hands a lot more than they do your feet, but keep your feet in mind as well. Number 4, use deodorant. So that is really important. You're at that age, 18 to 21, where, your body's still, going through some changes somewhat. So you're wanting to definitely use deodorant every day, whether you're just around the house or you're going out, and to keep, that area, that armpit area that can become very sweaty and smelly, very clean. So apply deodorant every morning. And you may also apply deodorant before vigorous activities. So you're going to want to use deodorant in the morning every day, no matter what you're doing, even if you're staying in the house all day. But you're also going to want, if you're going on a run or you're doing something, playing basketball that's going to be very physically active around other people, you may want to put on some extra deodorant. Again, you know your body. You know if you tend to sweat more there or not. Number 5, still on the first page here, dress nicely. And I wish I were a little bit more descriptive here. When we say dress nicely, I think the point is to dress in clean clothes. Make sure you're wearing clean clothes that don't smell. You watch all these detergent commercials and they're smelling their clothes. Do that. Do that before you put something on. I'm not saying you have to wash every piece of clothing right before you wear it, but you do want to, when you take a shirt, before you wear it, you want to kind of smell it, make sure it's good to go. If it smells bad, and if you can smell that, then others can too. So go ahead and throw that one in the hamper and then pick something else out. Now, if you smell something, you've only worn it once, you did some light activity in it, not too much, it may be okay for one more wear. But again, look at your clothes, see if there's any stains. Not only smell them, but see if there's any stains. If there's like a big old coffee stain right here, it doesn't smell, but it has a big stain on it. So, I'm not going to wear that today. I need to wash this shirt and wear another one. So dressing nicely really means dressing in clean clothes. So always wear clean clothes that don't have a bad odor. Foul means bad, so just make sure it doesn't smell. Do a smell test on that. There we go. So underline all of these, and why I'm having you underline these is because you're going to use what we've underlined in your discussion questions. So I wanted to make that easy for you, but not do it for you. So put a little bit of it on you as well. All right, we're turning over to the next page here on number 6. Brush your teeth. That is very important as well. It's important because A, it helps you look clean, but B, it's also one of those things on our hygiene that's very connected to our health. And when we're not taking care of our teeth and our gums, we tend to have cavities and we tend to have different problems in these areas. We have to go to the dentist. We have to spend a lot of money on these items for fillings or crowns, root canals. So the more you can take care of your teeth by brushing at least twice a day, flossing at least once, the better those dentist visits are going to go, and the less problems you're going to run into with your oral health, with your mouth health. So brush your teeth at least 2 times a day, 1 in the morning and 1 time in the afternoon. Again, my daily checklist is going to look a little different than that. I don't brush my teeth typically in the afternoon. I brush in the morning, and then I brush at night right before I go to bed. I also like to floss right before I go to bed too, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. So underline number 6, brush your teeth. Big smiles. And also, this helps your confidence. If you're keeping yourself clean, you're going to find that you're a lot more confident. You're keeping your teeth clean, you're brushing twice a day and flossing once a day, then you're going to smile and feel good about your smile. And that's also a good confidence and helps that good impression. All right, moving on. Number 7. Do frequent checks throughout the day. Try to find a mirror. So what that's just saying is just be aware of what, we look like during the day. So noticing after we eat. I know those lunches, I bet everyone misses those lunches at the hotel. But sometimes what would happen with us is we'd eat, either wings or we'd eat fries or Cheetos. Cheetos are really bad. I love Cheetos, but man, they get over your hands, right? So you need to be aware of that. You need to know you need to wash your hands. You also need to check for your face. I know I'm not supposed to touch my face, but for our lesson here, make sure that after you eat, you don't have any crumbs all over your face, because that's the last thing you want to do at work is go to lunch and then come back with, kind of a lot of stuff on your face. Like, it's really going to kind of make you look a little messy. So do that check especially after you eat, to make sure, there's nothing on your face. Also make sure, nothing in your teeth. I like to eat a lot of salads for lunch, and man, that spinach can get right into your teeth, especially if it's cooked. So just make sure that, you're just kind of checking yourself, making sure, there's not a lot going on your face, and that you still look neat and clean in the afternoon. That's always a good check. So we're going to underline do frequent checks throughout the day. So that's checking your face for dirt and food, checking your teeth for food, check your clothes for dirt and food. A lot of times after eating, we might drop something on ourselves. Be aware of that. If you need to try to wash it off, whatever that is. Check your hair, again, making sure it doesn't stick up, or making sure your hair's still, in place. I have to do that quite frequently. So that's 7. So let me show you something really quick, because I don't want to confuse you. I don't like how it did this to us, because it's confusing. So right here on your questions, it says, what task should I do for good hygiene? And notice here how it goes all the way to 8. Well, there is no 8. So don't make yourself go crazy. There's only 7. So what you guys can do right now is take that 8, just cross that baby on out. Only 7. So don't worry about that. All right, well, we're going to keep going on here. We're going to talk about different hygiene products. So that's really important for us to have access to keep ourselves clean. Because if we don't have shampoo, we can't clean our hair. If we don't have toothpaste, we can't really brush our teeth. I mean, I've used baking soda before. It works as a poor college kid. But, you do want to make sure you have access to different things to keep your body clean. So let's talk about that. What hygiene products should you have available? So number one, shampoo for your hair, for sure. Number two, soap. Soap. Bar of soap, liquid soap, types of soap, it's body soap that you're gonna want. You're really gonna need this. And if you find that you don't have these products at home, please reach out to me privately. As a Charleston County School District, we can provide you with those necessary items. And there are different resources in the community to get you these items. So if you find that, we're going through this check and you're just like, I don't have that, please let me know. I would love to get that to you in some way, mail that to you, because it is important that we have those hygiene products. Or, if you just don't have them because you haven't reminded a family member, then you need to remind, a parent or a guardian and say, hey, next time you go out, can you grab me some soap? Can you grab me some deodorant? And make sure you have those things. It's really your responsibility to make sure you have those things. It's not your parents, it's not mine, and your guardians to say, hey, do you have this and do you have that? You really need to be keeping up with this. They don't need to come and ask you, hey, do you still have toothpaste or not? You need to be telling them and self-advocating, hey, I need more toothpaste, I'm getting low. Hey, I need more shampoo, I'm getting low. So when you're getting low is when you need to get more because you don't want to run out. So really that's, I think we're all capable of asking for those things and communicating for those things. So make sure you're doing that as well. So shampoo, soap, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, nail clippers, and a hair comb or brush. Okay? So those are all very, I think, in my opinion, necessary things for you, tools for you to have to keep up a good hygiene. So on our questions, it's going to ask us what we need. So I'm going to underline all those suckers because we do need all of these, no matter what our routine and needs are like. All right. So lastly here, it's important, we talked about how hygiene is important because it helps you make a good impression on others. Well, it's also important because of some health factors, and we're going to talk about that real quick before we move on to our daily hygiene chart. So what are some potential health problems that you could have because of poor hygiene? And, we really need to start thinking about our health in these ways, especially as you get older. So you could develop infections. That's a thing. If, we're not keeping our nails clean, you could develop some fungal infections, of the skin as well if we're not keeping our skin clean. So, you can get some infections in different ways. Of course, we've talked about, not brushing our teeth and taking care of our teeth regularly. That can lead to tooth decay, gum disease, and it could you could lose some teeth, and that's going to be a hit to your confidence because if, you're missing a tooth, that's going to affect your entire, the way you look. So just being proactive and brushing your teeth regularly really helps prevent that, and it's really important to not have that happen. Long fingernails can also house a variety. So that means if you have long fingernails, that puts you at, having long fingernails and not cleaning them regularly, it could develop bacteria under your nails, fungus, that can make you sick. Because again, we are touching our faces a lot. I think I heard on the news the other day, the average American touches their face 20 times in an hour. We're not thinking about that. We're not thinking about when we, scratch our eyes or anything like that. But you do touch your face as much as we're told not to these days. So you have to think about that. If your nails have bacteria on them and then you're touching your face, you could get yourself sick because of that. So, for example, when you're eating, the bacteria from your long fingernails can transfer even into the food that you eat. And then obviously get into your mouth and get into your body. And, that could not be a good situation. So especially right now with the health concerns going around in our communities, we need to be very conscious of our hygiene. And even though we're not leaving our houses, You know, I know we're wearing a lot of pajamas these days. I am too, but that doesn't mean we can't follow a hygiene checklist and keep our bodies clean and neat. So lastly here, I'm just gonna underline develop infections, develop tooth decay, and that long fingernails can get bacteria and fungus and make you sick. So you're gonna wanna underline that as well. So I'm not going to do the questions with you because I've underlined all the important information that you need to know. So just as an example, it goes in order here too. So I think you guys will be able to figure it out. But the instructions for this activity is after reading the questions, write your answer in the space provided. So our first question is, what does good hygiene mean? Well, that's the first thing we wrote down here, keeping yourself looking neat and clean. So you just write what we underlined for number one. How does good hygiene habits impact thoughts and feelings of other people? Well, it's the next thing we underline. It helps you make a good impression on them. So you're just going to follow the information that we underline, and you're going to answer these questions in your hygiene, introduction to hygiene packet there. So before I let you go, I did want to show you this daily hygiene chart. I like this chart. There's lots of them out there, so there might be one that fits you a bit better, but I think this one's pretty good because it can be used for a lot of different people and a bunch of different routines. So I am going to move my computer so you can see it a little better here. Okay. All right. So you can make a chart like this, either on a piece of paper. Maybe you're lucky to have a whiteboard. So however you need. I think right now, checklist and routine, that's what's going to keep us happy and kind of sane and keep us from going crazy in our houses. So I recommend highly, you can copy this onto a sheet of paper and make a daily hygiene chart for yourself. If you take one of those sleeve covers that I gave you in your binder, you can even put a piece of paper in that after you write this down, and then you can use a dry erase marker to mark it on that page protector. So just think about this. If this is something you need, and you know it is, if it is something you need, then, you know, copy this, write it down, make sure you're doing this every morning. Being in that routine will definitely make you a more happy, productive person every day. So this is my daily hygiene chart. So I have a morning routine I'm going to go through here. I also have a routine I'm going to do at night, and then a once a week, because we do different things at different frequencies. So every morning, let's talk about the morning. Morning's one of the most important. It's like breakfast. It's the most important time of the day because you're getting ready for the day. So really what's important in the morning is to either bathe. If I took a bath, I'd fall asleep. But either maybe a bath's your jam, so you take a bath, or you shower, or wash your face. So again, there's mornings where, you know, I'm not going to bathe because I feel like that takes a long time, but that's okay if you're a bather. Totally do that. I don't shower, but if I don't do either of these things, if I don't bathe or shower in the morning, well, I definitely wash my face with water and soap. So at the very least, you're washing your face in the morning, every morning. Shave if needed. Okay, so gentlemen, you know, we're looking at our beards. Hey, right now, sure, if it's a great time for you to grow a beard, grow a beard. But you're still gonna have to, that's still an area you're gonna have to keep trimmed. You're gonna have to keep clean. You might have to brush it a little bit to keep that nice and clean, not too long to where it gets kind of scraggly and does stick up. So think about that. Think about if you need to shave or trim. Ladies, if there's areas that you also shave, under your arms or your legs, you know, think about those areas as well. Some of us choose not to. I think as females, it's your choice. But just think about shaving, and that is also a way, especially gentlemen with beards on your face, because our faces are so visible at work and stuff. Really think about that beard if you have that beard, and shaving that and keeping that clean, making sure it's free of food as well. I know food's very easy to get into beards, so making sure your beard's clean and shaved and kept. Also, this is an important one, put on deodorant. I don't care who you are, we all need to do it. We all need to put on deodorant every morning to make sure we're putting on that deodorant. Even if we're just sitting around the house, put it on. All right, next one. Put on clean clothes. So again, I know we're at home and like, what's the point, Miss Carr? Really? Clean clothes? Well, yeah. One, it makes you feel better about yourself. And two, it keeps your clothes in good condition. So again, I know we're at home and not very active. I'm not going to be mad if you wear a t-shirt 2 days in a row. But again, my big thing is before you put something on, smell it. Smell under the armpits of it. Smell in those different areas that we know we're going to sweat. And if there's an odor, then I would recommend not wearing it. I'd recommend putting that in the hamper, putting that in the washer, and cleaning that item with when you do your laundry. So I like to do the smell test with clean clothes. So make sure you do that. All right, brush your hair. I always brush my hair in the morning, in the evening. So just brush your hair, making sure that after you get out of the shower, or if you did that your hair's all brushed and taken care of there. Sometimes I have a dry scalp, so sometimes I really need to brush my hair and see if I have any dandruff, and just check for that dandruff and try to get that out of there with a brush or a comb as much as possible. Brush your teeth every morning. Just like we wash our hands for an extended amount of time, you want to brush your teeth for at least 2 minutes. So I know that's a long time, but really, really make sure you're getting, the front of your top teeth, the back of your top teeth, the front of your bottom, the back of your bottom. In this area, you're going up and down to really try and get that plaque out of your gums there. So just make sure you're really brushing your teeth with toothpaste every day. 2 minutes is recommended. All right, this one might not apply to a lot of people. I do have dry skin, so I do have to put on lotion. And it doesn't have to be, again, you have to know your body and know the areas that you need that. So I have dry elbows, so I always put lotion on my elbows, my arms every morning, and on my legs and my knees, because those areas can get a little more dry than others. So use lotion as well as you need. But these are all recommended things to do in the morning. So, I mean, who doesn't love a checklist? Because, hey, after you do all this stuff, you can check it. So, did I wash my face this morning? I sure did. I did not need to shave, so I'm good on that, but I checked it. Put on deodorant, yes. Put on clean clothes, I sure did. Brush my hair, maybe it doesn't look like it, but I did. Brush my teeth, you know it. And I put on lotion this morning. So boom. So once you finish all those things, who doesn't love checking something off that you did it? So I do. So I love a good checklist. So there you go. That's your morning routine. It's a very important one. Now we also don't, just do it in the morning. At night before we go to bed, it's important to, again, either bathe, shower, or wash your face. During the day, you did different things. Maybe girls are even wearing makeup. You need to take that off and wash that off and wash your face at night too, or shower or bathe at night, okay? So either one of those things. Brush your teeth, again, before you go to bed. You've eaten things during the day, and those food items can get stuck in your teeth, so you're really going to want to make sure you're brushing your teeth at night too, because you don't want that food to stay in there all night while you're sleeping. So brush your teeth at night. I also like to recommend to floss. If you, that string you floss with, put it in between each of your teeth and floss. Dentists do recommend that you floss at least once a day. So I like to do it at night to really make sure I get all that food out that I ate throughout my day. So brush teeth and floss at night as well. So these two things, very important to do at night as well. And then I have a once a week cut and clean your nails, your fingernails, and your toenails, and trim them as needed. I know some of us, like them a little longer. Some of us like a little shorter. But whatever it is, just make sure you're looking at those. You're cleaning them, making sure they're clean. That's what's really important, and just trimming them as needed. So this is a little sample daily hygiene checklist that hopefully you guys like and would like to use yourselves, and just a good reminder that we're doing all these things on a regular basis. So that's it. That's my lesson for today. It is a Wednesday, so we are doing our Wednesday social at 3. With our conversation yesterday on our Google Hangout, you guys decided you guys want to dress up. Kind of crazy again, kind of our wacky Wednesday social. So totally feel free, dress crazy as you want. We're going to be hanging out for a little 30-minute social today at 3. So I look forward to seeing you all there, and I hope you have a wonderful, productive, and hygienic day. Bye, guys. See you later.